I'm saying signature bag right now. Catch on to the motherfucking. You know what I'm saying? I shall not be compared. That's what we gonna start there. What y'all see me doing on IG, on with music, um, these videos and shit like that, they're very easy to do. How y'all see me break down astrology is very easy to do. You know what I'm saying? So what's hard for me is to think like the human. You know what I'm saying? White boy. That's what's hard for me. Like I don't live I live in reverse. You get what I'm saying? So don't compare just from now on. That don't compare me. Don't compare me to no rappers. You know what I'm saying? Don't compare me to no. That's what you never could anyway. But now I'm just making that shit official. So don't compare me to no rappers. Don't compare me to nobody unless I put them in that situation. You get what I'm saying? I hate how humans think sometimes, you know? But, it's sometimes, we just gotta understand the situation that we put in. So all of these things, I know I'm already one person that's just getting downplayed, getting downgraded, getting degraded, and stuff like that. First of all, that's already a government, you know, switcheroo, a psyope, you know, and you see all of these things that niggas have contributed. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about nobody owing nothing. Cause ain't nobody, I ain't looking for nothing in return. But when you see stuff and it's very blatant to see that people are getting downplayed, people are getting devalued and stuff like that. Then you gotta realize like the game and the world that it's kind of splitting design. But it don't never stop like, you know what I'm saying, like any specific motion or anything or any creativity or nothing. It just leave humans in the circumference confused and the surroundings and the environment confused and stuff like that. And the spiritual person with a headache. You know what I'm saying? So it just get confusing and things because y'all don't see me bragging. Y'all don't see that as my, you know what I'm saying? But I can come out and brag. I can come out really bitch. You know what I'm saying? I can come out and really show people what I did. And if I actually stand in a room with some of your favorite people and things like that, and we start to share minds, you will start to see how actually retarded that person is. So these is the things I can't brag on, but they're there. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm not a petty person. So when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, everything y'all see me doing and everything y'all saw me done, that's easy. The hard part is what the government did to y'all as far as psyop in y'all mind on how things should go and seeing it from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? So compare, don't compare me. And sometimes I gotta get in that ego because just participating with the world and stuff like that into these things that are synthetic, you automatically manifest negative energies based upon you not being already aligned with you spiritually want to do and things, or your or you things not being in your spiritual favor. So when you in that space and things, and you start manifesting shit from that space. This is Cancer season knowledge too, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Woodpecker season knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the home and saying and knowing how to use the earth to create a home. Something can be comfortable and understood. So waters don't have to be as chaotic. You get what I'm saying? So emotions don't have to be as chaotic. You have to utilize, nature and things. And we don't want shit to be chaotic. You know what I'm saying? So um, when it comes to, you know, things that is what it is, like I said, for the most part, real quick. For the most part, you got to understand, like you can tell a lot of the Native Americans that wasn't the chiefs and stuff like that because they don't have a lot of the magic, a lot of the knowledge of the magic and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking like they came here reincarnated and stuff like that. A lot of them may be still under religious programming and shit like that, and maybe still be facing some of those woes and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's still the same energy, us believing in something spiritual and something we can't see, which is basically just the internal world. But for the most part, it's that as well. But they psyoped y'all and they created a way for y'all to believe about it and took y'all ways and made y'all worship their version of it, which is the Bible today. You get what I'm saying? So you only can know your internal world um, with them. You know what I'm saying? Through them, type shit. You know what I'm saying? So you can never know your internal world through yourself. So a lot of people that just don't get up thinking like that, and the reason why y'all see a lot of people online doing that shit is because it's profitable. You know what I'm saying? Like every little fake tarot card reader, every little astrologer, they don't even got the real, you know what I'm saying, science behind this shit. They just doing some shit because they can go viral and they look acceptable to motherfucking do it. You know what I'm saying? So that be the motherfucking problem. Oh yeah, shit. Time out is Kelsita, the spirit coach, getting you in shape and form for the age of Aquarius yet again. You're now drinking the wine of Zeus. Okay? Migizi. Call me Migizi, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you already know how that Greek and shit like that was took it from our shit as well. But yeah, so when you get into just things and me having to actually step up and express things like this, like don't compare me to nobody or whatever and shit like that, it's because it's a spiritual thing going on too. And for the most part, you gotta know what world you in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know what world you in. Gotta know what world you in. That's a serious thing. That's a serious thing, aka your internal world. So like I said, for the most part, Cancer, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna force us to, you know, create new emotions and feelings around comfortability and shit like that. And what's comfortable to you, you know what I'm saying, might not be comfortable to anyone else. But for the most part, is going to be that, you know what I'm saying, trying to create a comfortability and shit like that, and AKA emotional um, roundability and things. And we're going to need to do that uh, in a way where it can make sense and be a little bit more stable for each individual in the picture type shit. You get what I'm saying? So now you're gonna have to utilize, things like situations with home, family, you know what I'm saying, domestic issues, all of that type shit. And that's gonna be the things that you're gonna have to pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? Especially all my little GSA NA, you know what I'm saying, my tribe and shit like that. But for the most part, it's to deal with your own internal energies and shit, and also finding your home and finding who you live amongst. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not just your phenotype, it's not just your ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta understand what makes sense and shit like that, and what's retarded and what's not. You get what I'm saying? So these is things that we gotta have on point. Um, things we gotta have on point. You know what I'm saying? Is new emotional clarity. Clarity. Water is like clarity. So it's about creating clarity around something, creating clarity around your actions, creating clarity around, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the default programs that y'all tap into automatically be putting y'all in them situations where that be y'all outcome. And so it just, you know, um, like I said, you just got to find a way to, you know, uh, work within that. You know what I'm saying? You got to find a way to work within that and make things stable. You know what I'm saying? So, because other than that, it's just going to be chaos. And then nobody going to manifest what they need to manifest emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So, always keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how your internal realm is playing out too. You know, think about it. It's Cancer season, right? So we gonna be in the energy of home, comfortability, and family. Now, on a percentage level, you may be comfortable in a little pocket of an idea that you created, far as you being comfortable with slavery or being comfortable with, which is just chattel slavery right now, which is just having a job or whatever. But does that represent your home? You know what I'm saying? Your own values, you know what I'm saying? What you come from, what you originate from. Do that represent that? No. You know what I'm saying? It may not. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the questions that is going to, Cancer season is going to have you looking at. Are you comfortable with your situation? Are you comfortable with that? And then you need to just act on that, because if not, it's going to be replaced with whatever you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with, you know what I'm saying, something on a minor scale, and things on a minor scale are always just pointing back to something that's internally rooted or deeper rooted. So are you comfortable with things on the things around you? And if you're acceptive of that and not looking at the internal things, you know what I'm saying, that at play, then you may, you know what I'm saying, utilize the external to blame something at the moment and shit like that. But for the most part, we in an energy right now where it's more predicated on the energies of, you know what I'm saying, you actually being seen for your internal energies and shit like that. So now, what do I mean by this? Now, so all of the things that we do, you know what I'm saying, thoughts and feelings, they accumulate based upon the space that we're in. So you be in a space and shit like that. You have thoughts and feelings that you emanate in that space, and things that eventually become adrenaline, blood flow, etc., and things of that nature in general. And this is how you end up in situations where, you know, you end up in this spot with this person, with these feelings and shit like that. But what's on your mind may be different from that person that you may end up in that space with. But you may end up in that space with that person and things of that nature, having those thoughts and feelings based upon whatever motivated you to be in that space, right? And so so now and shit like that, now you experience the expiration of that. You experience the death of that. You know what I'm saying? You experience that expiring and shit like that. And boom, once you get that thing, that light fulfilled and shit, now you have to move and emanate yourself out of that space, and you become new. You know what I'm saying? Version. So you have a virgin thought. Okay, you experience that. So the next question you gonna ask yourself is how or why did I experience that? And then once you be in that energy of taking care of those energies and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? Now you're dealing with the internal energies, because the internal energies are um, indicators too and things, and they always match to something outside of you at the moment that's pointing to you to say, I know I need to handle this. So if you bullshitting internally and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, you're going to manifest that in your life and shit like that, because we always start with the internal energies before the external world, and that's real shit. So you can't be bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't live ain't about bullshit though. But you know, just how things play out and things. You know what I'm saying? So there's benefits to me. Like at first, people didn't necessarily understand what I was doing, right, and things of that nature. But regardless of the shape and form that I was using at the moment and stuff like that, there was an energy behind that. You know what I'm saying? I was that you know what I'm saying, trying to represent, and it just stood in certain shapes and forms and shit like that. So just like we always growing, just like a child don't know who they are until they're able to, you know, well they're constantly rediscovering who they are and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, over time and through experience. So it's the same thing, you know what I'm saying, with this and shit. But it's a internal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's an internal situation, and that has to be developed too. You get what I'm saying? So, uh, you know, internal and emotional intelligence have to be developed and stuff. So that's like me going against the whole internet, going against a 99.7% of people thought and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? At first, that may look like something not to do and shit. Then guess what happened? Niggas made it look more acceptable based upon me knowing that regardless of what anybody was saying. So, or the situations and circumstances I went through, and God will put you in a situation where you're justified and shit like that based upon, you know, the situation at hand and how it's actually playing out for you. You know what I'm saying? God give you grace, basically. And shit, especially if you know how to do it. But if you keep manipulating that grace and you keep using it to an advantage, then that's when you may end up more on the negative end of things. And shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, overall, like I said, man, because I could be the most negative, egoistic person ever. But I'm gonna just start as a warning. Do not. A lot of y'all being saved, not, and I ain't talking about nobody in here, but people who I'm talking to. Yeah, a lot of y'all being saved, but I don't make me go there. because I will go there. You know what I'm saying? I could really get in that bag. And everybody, they know what bag I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I could be disrespectful to every, you know, let me just stop. But, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's easy, right? So what I'm doing is easy and shit like that. And then but it's hard. You know what I'm saying? In y'all eyes. So if you not on that spectrum of how I'm coming and you not coming how I'm coming, and it look hard to do this, then don't compare me to nobody. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's the spirit coach. I'm about to get out of here. Get y'all